Hey folks, I'm LA Little, TA today, and we use the neoclassical model here to look at opportunities, to ferret out those opportunities using trend and using timing. And if we take a look at rare earth, and I've got the REMX up here, question is are we too late? Just had this huge move, breakout off of this bar, broke this swing point high, broke that one. Now we're doing a retest regen, which simply means that we're going to try and pause, gather ourselves, and make another run to the top side. So question is will it do it? And let's look at the weekly chart here. You can see this big volume buildup over the last few months. Ever since Trump made it a priority to get into this space. And if you look over here, you can see that nice run up. Now, what I would say on the daily, you saw the volume pick up here as the escalation took place. Then as that escalation took place here, some decent volume. But this last escalation, you didn't really see it except for one bar there. And that bar was actually the top. And so question is are we gonna level out here? And that's a fair question. We're in September. September's kind of a tough month. We're gonna build out some sort of range here. The great thing about this, if you look at it, these bars are telling you that if it comes back here, these retest regen bars, they're telling you you want to buy it. And why do you want to buy it? Well, because there's going to be huge support there. And when I say huge support, if we pull up the support and resistance, you can see it's right at that level. There's support up here, where it bottomed on the first, pullback. But the real support's down here. And if we go over the weekly, it's even lower. It's down below that when you look at the retest regen. And so when I look at these kind of things and ask myself, where's the the decent buys? Well, they're going to be down in this area. And if it does fall farther, it's going to be huge support down in that price point. So, that's a long way down. Of course, this is making a huge move up. Basically 70-80% now, so you could get 20-30% drop if you get weakness in the general market. Can you count on that? Well, you don't know that's going to happen, but you do know to start with, this is the buy. And that price point, if I look at it, is 54.5 to 55 and a quarter basically. Let's pop through some of the individual stock charts and see if there's opportunity there. And I'm just going to take them alphabetically here. Albemarle, this one just getting started. When I look at this one, and I'm going to take some of this off so we can clean it up a little bit and just see what we have here. So we're in basically a bearish retest regen, both cases. This one's probably going to consolidate. This would not be one of my favorite picks. It's not nearly as strong. Now here's one that's very strong, just like we saw on the ETF itself. That's an automatic buy coming back into that price point if it does it. So this is an excellent looking stock. It looks very similar to the ETF itself. Just got a nice breakout, and you're probably going to come back in and do a retest regen. You got a lot of overhead resistance, so there's going to be sellers all the way up on this thing, right? You're going to have a lot of selling in this area, which is where it's just touched into, and then you're going to have a lot more up here. And the way you can think about that is, this went, if you just look at the dates here, this went sideways for 2 years, and then it went sideways for another year and a half in between these big falls, right? So now it's just made that first big move off the bottom. Usually when you do something like that, you come back in, gather yourself, and make a run back up. So a push back into this area would make sense eventually, right? But it's going to take a while if that happens. To begin with, though, there's opportunity up here at this higher price point, and you've got it on both time frames. You have it on the daily and you have it on the weekly, and so I would say be ready for that one if it comes back in. Let's go to the next one here. IONR, same sort of idea here. This one just getting started. And it's too early to say whether this support's going to hold. This one down here is solid though. It's solid here and there when you combine them. So you got to get deeper, but that one also is going to have a good entry level. Hyperion, this is over in Australia. This has had a great run. And so I would be looking for this one. You know, and the best thing to do is just look at your overlaps, you know, between on your retest regen zones. This was your breakout. You got one test right here. That price point on that guy is about 640 to 605, and if you go over to this one on the weekly, it's roughly $6 to 540. So anything in the $6 range is probably not a bad place to look at a trade. The next one is Lynas Rare Earth, also Australia. This one, now this is the kind that you really like to see. This one's already at new highs, right? Nice volume build up at new highs. Solid support up underneath here. Go to the weekly. Yeah, I mean it's support. It's on such a run, you don't even have a swing point high until back down there, and the same thing over here. So I don't think you're going to get a big retrace in this. You'd be lucky if you get this gap area to trade it, and until then, if it doesn't do that, you just have to monitor it and wait, let it build out, and see what the opportunity is once it builds out. The next one, Lynas Rare Earth, this one also at new highs. So the sweetest spot is about $7 on that chart, which is this kind of an overlap here between these volume bars, which is nice. And over here, it is the retest regen buy area, right? Solid buy area. So anything back into about 760, it looks like, is a nice place. MP, this one got a huge, Trump bump when they decided to go in and get after this company. So at new highs, fantastic move, 84% in a month. So I would look at the overlap of these two bars, and so that's down in the 50 area, and let's go back over here. That's going to be this gap area. And so can you get back to that gap? And if you do, can you get back to this gap? Now, I don't think you're going to get to these. You're gonna have to see if you can even get to this gap. There's two swing point lows there. It's been fading back in. I think the opportunity is in this price point, 51 to 53, which is this overlap. That would be your ideal spot. If you can't get that deep, then you have to just let it build out and see what it's going to do. There's another fairly strong one, Neocorp, and this one also, not as strong as the others, but it's got decent support. Automatic buy if it gets to this deep, but I doubt it's going to come back that far. That's a long way down. More than likely, you're going to stay up here. Now, I haven't looked at the details on this. It's got a 7% short interest. So yeah, it could come back given the interest, 7% short. I haven't been looking at it, but none of these have been overly extended yet. I doubt any of them are. Let me go back and look at MP just to see. Yeah, it's about 76 now. So these are starting. The ones that move first are starting to get a little extended on this time frame, which means they'll probably fade in more as this needs to get reset, and they'll probably build out some sort of range. So I mean, if you assume a range from say here to here eventually, right, which is huge range, which is a great trading vehicle if it does that, right, then this could build out that same range, in this area, finally set up a little swing point low down here somewhere, right, and then break it. And so that, and we're talking 6 weeks you'd need to do that. So you hit a swing, you set a swing point low, you set a low, I should say, let's just call this bar the low, and you trade between this price point and that price point for 6 weeks. Well, then this becomes the low, and then a break of it gives you the opportunity to reset this and to come in with a fresh start. Let's go to the next one, NBA. This one's kind of trading sideways, rather new. Nova, yeah, that one doesn't excite me very much. Let's go to the next one, PLS, which is Pibera. This one's okay, but again, I mean, here you haven't even broken a swing point low yet. You're still in a downtrend. You got one here. If you can get 6 bars across here before this test, then that would be a good spot. That would be the way I'd look at that one. SQM, which is a Chilean mine. You got the same situation. You're still in a bearish retest regen, still in a bearish trend. You kind of got the breakout here, but it's already been tested. You do have a decent setup here for a trade if you want, which is a test into this area. There's certainly enough room, 47 to 41, 42. So you got 10-12%. That's enough to trade it if you want. UURAF, UCOR, rare material or metals at new highs. Yeah, this is a good one. It's just going to be hard to trade, but you've got nice volume buildup everywhere. You're young bullish. Yeah, I think that this is an opportunity in this range that you see here, which is about $2 to about two and a quarter, and you may get a little bit deeper. Certainly, if you get back into that 150 range, you'd want to buy it, because that area there is the overlap right between these. So if it were to do that, that would be a sweet spot. This is probably one you're just going to have to let build out and see what it is. One of my faves from quite a while back that I've talked about before was Energy Fuels, and you can see the huge buildup here. Now these guys have a huge short interest. They're still at 12%, and so these big spikes get sold off in time as the shorts get squeezed out, causing the spikes. So just looking at this is your big bar, this is your bottom range. Anything back to here would be sweet, but I doubt it gets back there anytime soon. And it looks more like what you want to do is focus on this big bar right there, the swing point high, which is your retest regen that hasn't been tested inside one that has. That's your buy down in the low 10s if possible. So that's the setup on these. These all look great, which is why I wanted to bring them to you. Focus on them. Keep them on your watch list. They're going to offer up opportunities. It's just really starting, and it's just going to get better. Have a great one. See you next time.